Hello, BookTube. This is Holmes is Where the Heart Is video, a month-long celebration created by Jim at Mystery and Mayhem um, to celebrate Sherlock Holmes, the great detective, the greatest detective of them all, and to read Holmes. And he and his group of co-hosts have dedicated to a co-host they lost, which is Sean D. Standfast this year. And of course, I put a picture up when this started, or I hope I did, of an AI image that Sean created for me with him and I as Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Now, there are 4 prompts with this, and I'm not sure I'm going to do them all, but I did want to do some. It's the first year I've participated at all. So one of the prompts is to read something from the canon, which becomes very easy to fit in with a busy schedule because, of course, Arthur Conan Doyle, the author of Sherlock Holmes and many other fictional characters, wrote a lot of short stories. So I'm reading now this William S. Baring Gould. I've got the 2-volume, the annotated Sherlock Holmes. I read out of volume 1, and right on the cover it says 4 novels and the 56 short stories complete. So here's what it looks like. Now I've got the newer annotated set. I'll show a picture up there somewhere. But I'm using the old set, which I like a lot. And so I picked a short story. Get this out of my mouth so you can hear me talk. And I picked, let me get this out of the way, A Scandal in Bohemia. Now you see this is annotated, so there's notes up and down the side that you can read or not read. And you got the main text. Underneath The Scandal in Bohemia, it says Friday, May 20th to Sunday, May 22nd, 1887. Now, I've read this a long time ago, because I read them all when I was younger. But it's been a while since I revisited some of these, or actually any of them. I can't remember the last. I think I read The Hound of the Baskervilles a few years ago. Reread. So I love the start of this one. It's a pretty famous opening. To Sherlock Holmes, she is always the woman. I have seldom heard her mention her under any other name. In his eyes, she eclipses and predominates the whole of her sex. It was not that he felt any emotion akin to love for Irene Adler. All emotions, and that one particularly, were abhorrent to his cold, precise, but admirably balanced mind. He was, I take it, the most perfect reasoning and observing machine that the world has seen. But, as a lover, he would have placed himself in a false position. He never spoke of the softer passions, save with jibe and sneer. So, I love how, number one, they said that he was balanced. Well, somebody with that kind of mind now would not be considered having a balanced life, or a balanced mind, that's for sure. But we get a picture of Holmes, and we get a picture that he can hold somebody up in admiration of some sort, and this is Irene Adler, who shows up a lot in pastiche fiction and all that. And The Scandal in Bohemia, I don't want to give everything away. These are mystery stories. I'd love you to go read them. It literally would take you a half hour at the most, right? They're not very long. It looks long in this volume because you get so many notes on the side. So basically, Watson is married, and he doesn't live at 221B Baker Street with Holmes anymore. And here, I don't need the book anymore. And Watson is doing. He's a visiting physician again. He goes to people's homes like he used to do, and a lot has changed since he's got married. He's comfortable at home, but obviously he misses the excitement and the interest of Holmes and Holmes cases. So he's walking, and he happens to go down Baker Street because of one of his calls, and he sees in the light above Holmes pacing by the lit window, and he goes, "Ah, there's something up." And he decides he wants to visit, and he goes visit him. So Holmes happy to see him. And there's one, and there's a little comment like, "Well, he's not. Holmes isn't in a stupor and bored like he would be on cocaine because he had a cocaine habit." But he seems animated and into this situation. Welcomes Watson, gives him a cigar. They sit down. Well, Watson sits down. Holmes hands him a very nice envelope with very nice paper with a very mysterious message, and the adventure begins. Now, scandal in Bohemia, because the scandal is the threatened thing, right? Blackmail. And Bohemia, and it's a royal personage that has to be saved, who's probably done some things he shouldn't have done. And Irene Adler is the target. She has something that this royal personage wants back, and Holmes is hired to get this item back. And in the end, there's a twist. So it's a case, it's a successful case, but there's a real twist that I just love. I've never seen Irene Adler as a master criminal from this story. I actually like Irene Adler, and I think Sherlock Holmes does too. But anyway, Holmes is where the heart is. Canonical story. Wonderful, wonderful read. I was up late last night sitting out here in the grotto. I'd done everything I needed to do, and I picked it up, and what a way to relax. Just one story. You don't have to read the whole doggone book right off. I suggest you do if you enjoy them. And I'd like to say thank Jim and all his co-hosts for hosting this and bringing the rest of us along for the ride. Fun event, and I will do more. I've got some other things. They have other prompts. You can find them on one of those channels. And thank you, BookTube.